Welcome to the Global War Watch Network. So listen to this. India is quietly building a new kind of nuclear reactor, one that's small enough to fit on a ship, yet powerful enough to light up an entire city. And it could, quite literally, change everything. Today, we're going to unpack what's going on with this major technological leap, because it could totally reshape India's energy future and its place on the world stage. All right, so what are we really talking about here? Let's get right into it. This idea of a pocket-sized powerhouse and what exactly India is building. Okay, so India's Bhabha Atomic Research Centre, you'll see it called BARC, is developing two different versions of a compact nuclear reactor. Now, what's really fascinating is the design. These aren't just for your typical power plants. No, they've got a beefy 200 megawatt unit for heavy industry and a smaller 55 megawatt version. But here's the kicker. They're also being designed to power huge commercial ships. That kind of versatility, that's the real game changer here. So, how does this thing actually work? It's called the Bharat Small Modular Reactor, or BSMR for short. But what is it that really makes it so different from those giant nuclear power plants we're all used to seeing?
Well, at its heart, it's what's known as a small modular reactor, or SMR. And I want you to think about this less like a massive, years-long construction project and more like a high-tech appliance. The really crucial point is that these things can be built in a factory, like standardized units, and then just shipped wherever they're needed.
And this is where you really see the difference. Traditional reactors, they're enormous, custom-built on-site, and they take forever. The BSMRs, on the other hand, are compact, factory-built, and you can deploy them flexibly and way, way faster. This completely flips the script on the economics and logistics of nuclear power. Of course, with anything nuclear, the first question is always safety, right? And these new reactors are designed with that as the #1 priority. They use something called passive safety systems. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, think of it like a fire door that closes on its own. It works automatically using things like gravity, not some complex electronic system that could fail. This means they can shut down safely with zero human help and no external power. That makes them a whole lot safer to use in remote industrial areas or even out at sea on a cargo ship. So you might be asking, why is India pouring so much effort into this? Well, this isn't just some science experiment. It's a really critical piece of a much, much larger national strategy. The country has set an absolutely massive goal as part of its Vision 2047 plan. They want to generate 100 gigawatts of power from nuclear energy. I mean, that is just a staggering number. To really get your head around that number, just look at this chart. It shows the sheer scale of their ambition. Right now, India's nuclear capacity is just under 9 gigawatts. They're aiming for a more than 10-fold increase. You know, trying to do that with old-school reactors would be next to impossible. And that's exactly why these SMRs aren't just a nice-to-have. They are absolutely essential to the whole plan. But you know, groundbreaking tech is only half the battle. To make this 100-gigawatt dream a reality, India has to pretty much change the entire rulebook. And the key that unlocks all of this is a major update to a law that's been on the books for over 60 years, the Atomic Energy Act of 1962. For decades, nuclear power in India has been a total state-run monopoly. Well, that's all about to change. There are basically three huge changes on the table. First, and this is a big one, private companies will be allowed to build and operate nuclear plants for the first time ever. Second, these new private operators will be able to get their nuclear fuel from foreign suppliers. And third, they're rewriting the liability laws to get foreign tech partners on board. This just blows the doors wide open for private investment and global know-how. All right, so let's zoom out. What does this all mean for India and for the rest of the world? We are looking at the start of a whole new era for nuclear energy, and that comes with some major economic and strategic ripple effects. The payoffs here are really twofold. First, on the energy side, it means clean, reliable, carbon-free power for industries that are super energy hungry, like steel and cement. But strategically, it's all about autonomy. Imagine commercial ships that are nuclear-powered and can sail for months without refueling. That's a total game changer for shipping. And here's the really crucial point. This builds up deep expertise in miniaturized nuclear propulsion, which just so happens to be the very same technology that powers naval submarines and aircraft carriers. This quote from the source material really just nails it. The BSMR program isn't just about making electricity or powering ships, it's about solving a huge domestic energy problem while at the exact same time building a powerful strategic capability for the future.
And that brings us to the final and maybe most critical question. Even though the official story is all about civilian stuff, industry, and merchant ships, the technology they're mastering is precisely what you need for next-generation warships. So the question we have to ask is this: are we just watching the birth of a new civilian power source, or are we seeing the foundation being laid for India's future nuclear-powered navy? That is definitely a powerful thought to leave you with. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer.
Hey, if you found this analysis valuable, we'd really appreciate it if you take a quick second to like, share, and subscribe to the Global War Watch Network. It really does help us keep bringing you these kinds of explainers.
And we really do want to hear from you. What do you think about this whole development? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure you join the conversation on our social media channels. All the links for that are right there in the description. Thanks again.